Hello, everyone. If you see me, if everything is okay, please let me know. I'm just testing something because I um I just want to see something before. Hello, everyone. If you see me, if everything is okay, please let me know. Hello, everyone. I'm just testing something. If you see me, if everything is okay, please let me know. I just want to see something before. Hello, everyone. If you see me, if everything is okay, please let me know. Hello, everyone. I'm just testing. If you see me, if everything is okay, please let me know. I just want to see something before. Okay, it's coming in like triplets. I don't know why. Hello, everyone. If you see me, if everything is okay, please let me know. Hello, everyone. I'm just testing. If you see me, if everything is okay, please let me know. I post them on YouTube, even though I'm on YouTube. I just want to see something before. As I can actually, it's much better for me if you actually post them on. You can text coming in like triplets. I don't know why. Hello, everyone. If you see me, if everything is okay, please let me know. Hello, everyone. I'm just testing. If you see me, if everything is okay, please let me know. Post them on YouTube, even though I'm on YouTube. I just want to see something before. I can actually, it's much better for me if you actually post them on. You can text coming in like triplets. I don't know why. Hello, everyone. If you see me, if everything is okay, please let me know. Hello, everyone. Just testing. If you see me, if everything is okay, please let me know. I post them on YouTube, even though I'm on YouTube. I just want to see something before. I can actually, it's much better for me if you actually post them on. You can text coming in like triplets. I don't know why. Hello, everyone. If you see me, if everything is okay, please let me know. Hello, everyone. Just testing. If you see me, if everything is okay, please let me know. I post them on YouTube, even though I'm on YouTube. I just want to see something before. I can actually, it's much better for me if you actually post them. Okay, let's get you all straightened up here. I'm praying that everybody can hear me properly. I haven't gotten a text from anybody saying they can't, and I don't know exactly if the audio is okay. I have no clue. So if you're having issues with audio, you've got to let me know. 704, I'm not 704, 765 544 0427. You can feel free to text me there and let me know. Hello, everyone. This is Carol Sankar. I'm also meerkatting at the same time. This is like so cool. So I'm going to meerkat part of the stream. I'm going to also be putting the stream up later on today. So hello, Meerkat family. As a matter of fact, let me put a book out here for you guys because
To be honest, the lighting on Meerkat sucks today. But hello, Meerkat family. How are you? I'm streaming on YouTube, Google Plus, Meerkat. And we were trying to do Periscope, but that's not gonna happen. So we're gonna make it work with what we have because I know for a fact that'll be way too much. Um, and I'm trying to actually turn off all of these microphones. Hello, everyone. We're going to be talking about the confidence factor for women in leadership, but today is only in business. So I'm happy to have you guys here. And if I'm not looking at you, Meerkat family, hi. It's just that I'm trying to multitask all at the same time and trying to give everyone a little bit of eye candy, eye attention. All right, so why did I bring you here in the middle of the day on a Friday when I know you probably don't even want to talk about leadership? Well, quite simply, leadership is what it is. You need it. As women, we definitely need it. We need to strive for it. We need to strive toward it. And the confidence factor movement that we are working on and that we're putting together is really, really taking off leaps and bounds. There's some things that are happening with the confidence factor that I think are somewhat revolutionary in their own way. So I just want to be able to, number one, thank you for being a part of the confidence factor family and tell you all the things that are coming up. So let me tell you the first one. Hold on, I'm trying to get all my cameras at the same time. The confidence factor book is almost here. Do you see my face? See? It's almost here. I'm so happy to see it. This has been a labor of love for the last 4, 5 years. I promised when I wrote Cheers to Your Success. I don't remember where's the last one, but I promised when I wrote the last Cheers to Your Success, I would never write another book again. That was my vow that I would never write another book again. And I always say that God has another plan when you have your own plans. I promised I was never going to write again because I didn't find anything worthy that I wanted to write about. So it's ironic that uh, the confidence factor kind of came into my lap at a strange time. I was going through some stuff in my business. I was going through some stuff in my world where I was experiencing a little bit of loneliness, if that makes sense to you guys. Because, and let me give you some of my backstory for those of you who don't know me. I have been in real estate development. I have been in real estate entrepreneurialism for a very long time as a real estate developer and flipper. And there are not many women in the industry, very few, and the few that I would meet just weren't at the level of the conversation I wanted to have, and I didn't know what to do. I was starting to feel very lonely because as a woman, there's certain things that we need as women to be able to discuss, and there's certain things that I wanted to talk about, and there was no one to talk to. And that feeling of loneliness just kept hindering me from doing certain things and going to certain marketing opportunities and going into certain spaces and certain meetings because there would be no women, none. And the thing is, when you are around men all day, after a while, no offense, I have a son and I have a husband and I've got 3 stepbrothers. I get tired of being around male energy. Can we agree on that? So I didn't know what it was that I needed to do to be able to see more women where I was. I could not find them. I didn't know what was the problem. And every time I would meet and connect with female clients, the problem will become, and somebody's actually texting me. If you have any questions or comments, you can always text me 765-544-0427, and I'm also streaming on Meerkat as well. So just to answer your question, yeah. So the problem was when I wouldn't be able to connect with women, I would get a little frustrated. And when women would contact me and say, well, Carol, I want to learn how to get into this flipping game, and I really want to learn how to do this, and I want to learn how to do that, and I take them, many women would just drop out. And I think, let me tell you where the real spark happened, where I started to get a little bit like, okay, this can't be happening to me. One of the things that happened was one day I I was doing a development deal out in a place called Bessemer City, North Carolina. And it's for one of my shopping centers. And a young lady actually saw me at the shopping center. I was in the news the week before because of that, because I hired a whole bunch of local contractors, and that got me a lot of publicity out there. And she came up to me and she was like, "Oh my God, Carol, I wanna meet you. I wanna work with you. I wanna do this. I wanna do that." She was a young lady. And so it's ironic that she happened to live in Charlotte and I live outside of Charlotte, and she's on the way to my job site. So my job sites normally start at around 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm used to getting up at 2, being out of the house at 3, being on the highway, and I'm usually at my construction site by 4 o'clock in the morning when I'm in heavy development construction. So day number one, I told her we got to be there at 4 o'clock. There's nothing glamorous about this. And she goes, yeah, 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 this is great. I'm going to be there. I promise. I promise. Okay. So finally she gets there, and while she's there, while she's standing there on the job site, she decides that the day of, and I had told her this the night before, I said, don't go to the bathroom. I said, don't eat, don't drink anything. We don't have a bathroom there, so you can't go to the bathroom. So do your best to not go to the bathroom at the moment we're going to go to this job site. And that morning, she came outside in the car with a cup of coffee. And I was like, oh my God, seriously. So we get to all the way to Shelby. She has to go to the bathroom. I pull over. I go to this place. She goes to the bathroom. Then we get to the job site. She's hoping that people are going to be there she's going to sit in a luxurious office with heat, and she's going to have her feet up and just luxuriate. She was shocked to see that we had to pull permits that morning. We had to pull lumber off of truck. We had to do what a lot of women are not used to doing. We had to do the work. And she was like, oh my God, I didn't know we had to do all of this. Where's the help? And I'm like, we are part of the help. And so by day number 3, she was like, I can't do this. This waking up in the morning stuff is really tough. So that was my first woman apprentice. She dropped out of the game. Shortly thereafter, I tried other ways to be able to integrate women into the mix of my real estate business, and it just wouldn't work. I just never had a successful real estate woman who was able to sell any of my properties. It would always be men. I would have horrible negotiations with women because women didn't want to negotiate. If I came up with a price, they always tell me yes. And I'm like, no, give me another price. And I didn't know what it was. So subsequently, as I continued to realize that we were just not present in real estate, as we're not present in certain industries, I really wanted to change the game, and I wanted to change the way women actually did business. And that's where the confidence factor really kind of started. It started being as a loneliness project. Me not having enough women in my circle that I thought were um, able to be able to handle the level of mastery of going up to the next level and really playing in a $1 million playing field. And as I continue to connect with women who still somewhat have those issues, it's always something that I really want to change. It's something that I really want to work on. It's something I really am committed to. I'm passionate about, is really seeing women at an elevated level and getting women to get in powerful meetings and get to the playing field of where my men are. And I even said it while I was at TEDx. I have men that are way, way up there. And I have women who still suffer with confidence. Going into meetings, they sit there, they don't say anything. They don't negotiate. They don't even know if they should go in the meeting. They have a lot of what ifs. So when I said I wanted to have this live cast today, a lot of what I wanted to talk about is not only what's in here, which is coming to you later this month, but I want to talk about, the fact that we are meant to be leaders. We don't have to be subjective to just sitting around and hoping that our jobs are going to fulfill us and that our purpose is going to fulfill us. We have the right to walk into real meetings and really make instinctive change and do big business. And the absence of women also makes women who are a little bit more confident feel as though we have to do a lot more pulling and tugging. And I feel that as a collective, as women, as a collective, we should do a lot more to be able to influence each other. One thing that I think is a major issue for women who suffer with confidence issues, and sometimes you don't even know you do, but I could tell you I could give you some factors that I could show you probably are. One of them is when you fail to collaborate with new people. That's just like, I could turn this off right now and stop right there. Failure to collaborate with new people. You don't go into places where you know new people are. Even this week, I'm having this kind of shift in the mindset with some people who have been promising me that they were going to do certain things, haven't shown up, haven't done the work, certain things like that. We don't connect with new people. The next thing that we also have a major issue with, we don't connect on an elevated level. We kind of connect on the scarcity level. So we're still talking about the same things, from 2004 and 2005. We're not having elevated conversations. And another thing that I can also tell you about us as ladies, we're not having conversations with enough men. We're not having enough conversations with enough men. It's great for me and you to support each other, but where are you being supported when I go away and I'm go off to La La Land and I'm off going to doing other things? For example, this summer, I chose that I was not really going to work this summer. I had a lot of construction that I had to get done. I'm doing something in South Carolina, in the middle of South Carolina, and I promised that this was going to be the summer of completion of getting that stuff done. So I made a determination that I'm going to stay home in order for me to be closer to this particular project. And within that, connecting with a new level of men has been life changing. I went for like a 2 week mastermind. And when I say mastermind, a real estate mastermind in Memphis, Tennessee, with some influential builders and developers, and they brought me to this site. So I've been managing the site, and actually I invested in the site. So the thing is, when you're not around men, I think that drowns our confidence significantly, because we stay around women who have all this fear all around them, and they kind of drown themselves in this query that, oh, okay, one day it's going to work out. Let me just keep posting those beautiful posts and quotes on Facebook, and we just don't get out of our own way. Another thing that I always feel is a major issue is we just don't negotiate. I can scream when I hear some of you what you charge. When I tell you you can charge $30,000 to work on a VIP day, you go, oh, nobody has that kind of money. And I'm like, yes, they do. Money is never in scarce supply. Your scarcity mentality would keep you in obscurity for a very long time. If you don't charge more, you can't affect more. So you're kind of playing with people who have the scarcity mindset. They don't have the money to play on your level. They don't want to invest on your level. They don't want to come up and come and give you $100,000 check. Well, the reason why people are not investing in you is because you're not asking for enough. If you were asking for more, you'd get more. And that's probably why I'm such a lover of Grant Cardone. Hey, Grant, how are you? For really being the model behind what we call the TEDx rule. And what TEDx is anything that you want, you have to multiply that times 10 and make that the expectation. And then when you get to the goal, you just have 10x to go to get to the next goal. And what that basically means is, about 2013, I made a determination that in 2014 I was going to do my first $6 million deal. But in order for me to get to 6 million, I had to do my first $600,000 deal. And so when I did it, I 10x'd to $6 million, and that's where I am this year. I'm really working on $3 to $6 million properties. And if you had asked me this question 2, 3 years ago, six who? I don't think anybody has $6. They don't have $6 to give. I don't know if I could do this. And so getting out of that obscure mindset of not negotiating, not asking, not being forthright and asking for what you deserve, and really being upfront and being bold about what you really want is one of the main ways you get out of the scarcity mindset. When you get bold enough to say, I want $6 million, right? You got to play in the $600 playing field with people who are already doing that. And so you can really get to that $6 million level. It is really simple to get to, but the only way that you're going to be able to affect change is to be loud, be a little bit boisterous on places that you weren't anticipating that you would have to be. And so negotiation comes into a major, major issue with this. And then one of the last things I'll talk about before I tell you about my girl is we got to get together. Some of y'all not gonna like this one, but we gotta get together. We only like to get together when we have a common purpose. I don't know how many of you have ever heard the 2008 TD Jakes about the 3 types of people you need in your life. We come together when we have constituents. We don't come together as a camaraderie. And so you do your own thing, and you only contact me when you want something, and then you leave me when you got what you want, and you go on, and we don't get together. And a lot of times when I invite women to come onto certain platforms, they're shocked that there's no women in the room. They're like, because we don't like to get together. We like to get together on small stuff. But when it comes to doing the big stuff, it's really tough to get women to collaborate. So my goal for the confidence factor, my end goal, let me tell you what the end goal of the confidence factor is. My end goal is to build a tribe. Yes, you too on Meerkat, and you can answer if you feel. My goal is to build a tribe of high achieving women who are ready between today and this time next year. So by August 1st next year, that want $1.5 million in sales and want to get it done. I'm not talking about the complainingpreneur, the wanterpreneur, the playpreneur. I'm not talking to you guys. I'm not talking to those of you who will never endorse your dreams, never go for what you want, don't want to ask for what you want. If a 1.5, and there's a reason for my 1.5, but if 1.5 sounds, and I'm talking about an annual sales, and I'm talking about whatever business you're in, whether you're in retail, whether you're in sales, whether you are a coach, whether you have a store, whatever it is, I want to see women forget about six figure. If I talk to another person who wants six figures, it's really easy to earn six figures. I'll show you how to do it. That's easy. I don't want people with easy goals around me because too many women have settled for easy goals for too long. 1.5 is the structure I really want. I wrote this book because I was tired of talking to women who always had a six-figure mentality. A six-figure mentality really requires you to be around seven-figure earners. That's what it requires. If you really want to be in a six-figure anything, you want to earn $100,000 a year, and that's all you really want, and that's this much, then you got to be around somebody who's doing $1 million. You want to earn $1 million, you got to be around somebody who's earning $10 million. That's how you learn. Every time I have set out on a goal, I've gotten around people who've earned at least 10 to 20 or 30 times that amount in order to learn what I need to do to accomplish their former goals. I don't learn from people at the same level. That's why I don't endorse this stuff, the old phrase that there's like-minded circles and like-minded this and like-minded that, because many of us do too much like-minded thinking, and that like-minded thinking has kept us broke for so long. And I wanted to be able to create an environment where women really got to the $1 million level. I only want to play with, I'm not talking about $1 million thinkers. I'm talking about $1 million earners. I want women at that 1.5. So even when I started the coterie, which starts tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, every woman in there are high achieving women at around the six-figure level. And every woman in this group at the end of next year, the goal, every coach I brought in and that I'm bringing to the coterie is going to get them closer to 1.5 million. I'm not here to sell you the coterie because that may not be the level that you want to be at. But I want you to have the confidence to stop thinking on $1 million level. A lot of us keep our mindsets in $1 million mindset. We know every quote, we know every entrepreneur magazine, we know every this, every that, but we're not earning what we think. So your thoughts, your mindset is on one thing, but you're not earning what you think. You're not asking the big enough questions to be able to earn what you really want and to earn what your thoughts are actually trying to tell you to do. You're saying, I want to be Bill Gates, but I don't want to do what Bill Gates does. I want to be Donald Trump, but I don't want to do what Donald Trump does. I want to be successful, but I still got this job and it pays every Friday. I want you to unplug from the matrix of you being safe. I left safety in 2003 at a time when the market was not all that great. And I have never walked into a job since. Ever. Have I ever regretted it? Of course. I've had scary moments, especially around 2008 when the market tanked. I had my own scary moments, but I realized that my commitment to what I wanted, I had to hold on. If I just held on and remained committed, those days that got scary when I was like, oh my God, I need some money, I need more money, I needed to get out of that. And the reason why I believe so much that we have to get together is because many women cannot afford their dreams because they're busy discounting. You can't afford to hire good coaches. You can't afford to go to that real conference, not that one that's going to make you feel good and pass out on the ground. You can't go to that real conference, that real networking opportunity. You can't go and get your real products off the ground. You can't go get a scalable model for your business. You can't put products in the market unless you have money. It takes money to get to the next level. But if we're not charging enough, if you're not asking for enough, If you think $1 million is hard to achieve, then you're never really going to get there. And as women, we make stuff so hard. We are our own worst enemies. We make it so hard. We make it such that when we see someone earning $1 million, that's big thinking for us. Like, wow, that was so great. And I can tell you honestly, net worth and network are kind of like hand in hand, but you can't raise your net worth and you can't network in opulent spaces when you're charging, $5 here and $3. You're discounting, and you're discounting on your purpose, and you're discounting for no reason at all. And I want you to kind of get out of that whole mentality that discounting is going to take you far. It won't take you anywhere. And so you have to get into the circles of where people who are earning that kind of money, where they are. They're not sitting on Facebook. They're not on Facebook. They're not on Twitter. Your your millionaires are not on Facebook. They're not sitting there, chilling around Facebook waiting for you. That's not what they're doing. What they're doing is they're making real $1 million connections and doing real things. So, like I said, the purpose of the confidence factor, the real goal, there's a 3-part series in the confidence factor. This is just the first one. This is just for the women in business. But for the whole collective, the next part of the collective that we're currently writing, and that's really where I've been, like, for those of you who've been saying to me, I haven't seen you all over, is because I'm already on the second collective. You're about to get the first one. The second collective is the conversations with CEOs. So I spent a year after I finished writing this, after this was done, and this went to print. I just made a lot of changes, and I decided I want to see my face on the front. I got to be confident enough to read this one. I decided to sit for a year and connect with 22 women CEOs. And I'm not talking about everyone who likes to put up the word CEOs. I'm talking about real CEOs, women who own $5 million plus companies and operate on a $10 million sales volume level. I decided that I wanted to talk to them because I feel like women also don't get a chance to connect with women who are at that level, and the ones they do see are the ones that they bring you on television. So they bring you the Sheryl Sandbergs, they bring you the Hillary Clintons. Well, there's a woman that we met in the process called Heidi Popson that owns a $12 million company. There's this woman in Ireland, I keep forgetting her name, I know I can't pronounce it, but we met her, and her company earns globally $65 million a year. Those are the kind of women I want you to meet. So I brought them to you. I went and I personally interviewed all of them. Yay! And I wanted to bring that to you in the second collective so you can actually hear the fears of women. And I also put some of it in here. You'll see a few of them. Like I think I put, I know Lori Cheek is in here. Shout out to Lori if you are on my Meerkat. I have a feeling you are because I love the heck out of you. I got Heidi Popson in here, who is the founder of, I'm just kind of reading it off a little bit. Because I just dripped them in here so you can see. She's the founder of Productions Plus, I think it is. I also have Nina Parr. She's the founder of Love Your Job. I have Lisa Reed, huge. Wait till you read her story. It's huge. Becky Awar. I included, I think, only 11 of some of them, and you'll get a chance to see a little bit of who they are. You're not going to get a chance to read the whole thing, but you get a chance to get an idea of what high level women have to do. And the ones that actually made me so happy, Bev Vines and Charlotte Clay, they are the co CEOs of something called Ice Chips Candy, and it was featured all over Shark Tank. And they got a deal for like $1 million. They're the first women grandmothers to get like $1 million on Shark Tank. Well, since their Shark Tank aired in some of the first seasons, they've made a little over $10 million, and they take you through the journey of them having to take their business out of their home and get in this 4,500 square foot factory, and now they're all over in a whole bunch of stores and stuff like that. These are the kind of women I wanted to sit down and ask them, what were your secrets? Like, don't tell me the good stuff, tell me the ugly stuff, tell me the day that you got scared, tell me the day that scared you the most, tell me the day you lost a lot of money, tell me the day that you didn't have enough money to pay your own car note. Like, talk to me about those days. And they really outlined why women need to kind of get out of their own way and stop having this scarcity mentality. I'll even share with you. Let me see if I have a piece here. Deborah. So Deborah Sweeney's in the book. And for those of you who don't know Deborah Sweeney, you better look her up. She's the founder and the CEO of My Corporation. My Corporation is kind of like LegalZoom in a little bit, but you only get to do corporations on my corporation. The reason I met her is because I wrote in her blog a few years ago, and since then she bought out shares of Intuit, and Intuit became the main shareholder in her company, and she's become basically a millionaire overnight, but through having a long-standing battle to be able to get there. And she talks about why women need to be able to get out of their own way, and the fears that she had as being a lawyer trying to go into this transition and taking her business to another level, and kind of going to an elevated space and being able to kind of challenge herself. And I have another lady in here, I forget her name, that talks about the fact that there are only 15% of the United States has women patent holders, but only 2% of those patent holders out of that 15% ever get their patents into the market. So I bring all of this to your attention because I want women to be better. So if you want to take on this mission, I want to be able to be part of the collective of the conversation that you're having, because like I said, I know a lot of women. Many of you hit me up all over social media. You're emailing me nonstop and you're inboxing me nonstop. And Carol, I wanna learn and I wanna do this and I wanna do that. But many of the women who kind of come into this collective don't want to do $1 million work. And I only put this confidence factor together because I wanted to get out of telling women what they need to do and challenging you and daring you. Like I said, $1.5 million being the threshold. I wanted to dare women to get to that $1.5 million level so they can stop playing in the scarcity mindset and stop playing around with people who you can't learn from. You can't learn how to be a millionaire from someone who's at work all day. Unless it's your boss, you're not going to learn how to do that. You're not going to have a great mentor if you're not investing in mentors. And many of you can't invest in mentors because you don't charge enough for people to invest in you. So all of this is about taking your business out of the scarcity, out of people telling you they can't afford you. Because I know many of you go through that. I can't afford it right now. Money's tough. If money is tough, why do you have a Louis Vuitton bag next to you? I can't afford it right now. Why are you driving a Range Rover down the street? Is that the 2019 Range Rover? Because it's only 2015 and you're driving a 19 one. Like, why are you connecting with people who don't have their priorities together? Don't tell people what to do with their money. Ladies, we love to do that. We love to tell people, we love to say, they don't have their priorities in order. No, everybody has their priorities in order. If you want a Range Rover before you want a coach, then that's your problem. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't ever tell people what to do with their money. What I'm saying is, if you're not with people who have the priority that you are a priority, you will never build the kind of business that will function in a solvent manner so you can be able to earn the kind of money that will make you happy, that will make you wealthy, that will change your life, that will give you the kind of goals and it sets the kind of tone that you want it to set. You will never earn that kind of money. And like I said, my goal for this whole confidence factor is 1.5. Now let me tell you why 1.5 is the $1 million question. Hold on. I needed some water. It's flavored water. It's not soda. I don't drink soda. Let me tell you why 1.5 is the threshold. We did the confidence factor for women in business, the first symposium to kind of open up the dialogue and the conversation. And we had a venture capital group that was there, was represented by the Gus Fund. And what most women don't know is that venture capitalists don't talk to women before they earn their first $1.5 million. Let me swig on that. So, in other words, it takes money to make money, but how you attract money is that you have to be able to have money. In order for you to have money, in order for you to get people to invest in you and to take bigger risks with you, you need to be at a certain level. So 1.5 was the threshold. And so in order for you to get an appointment to even sit with our connection, George, in order for you to get an appointment to even sit with him, you had to have a net worth statement of 1.5 million. I've been to George's office a ton of times. Can I tell you, not one woman has ever been in there. Not one. I've been there like a million. Not one. Not uno. None. It's disappointing because I would love to take all of you in there. There's like 135 of you sitting right here on Meerkat on my screen. And on my other screen is like another 300 or 400 of you. I love to take all of you into that kind of meeting so you can see what it takes to be able to get people to invest in you. So you're not asking for $10,000 and $15,000 and asking for rounds. Because even if you're a coach, like even if you're selling intellectual capital, do you know that there are people who invest in that? There's a human element to people that want to invest in coaches today, because you guys as coaches, and I'm one of you, we solve problems all day long. We keep people from hitting the rock bottom of whatever it is, whether it's their life, whether it's their business, their marriage. We save lives, and our industry is one of those that only women tend to represent, but we don't go for funding. So ironically, I wanted to test the method. And we had someone that went before Gust, and they got their first round of funding. Many women don't know what rounds are. So when I have women that say, I'm putting together my business plan to be able to go get money to build my business so I can get a business loan, I say, what are you getting a business loan for? Because I want to build my business. Okay. So you're putting a business plan together. How much do you need? I need $10,000. Why do you need $10,000? Because I need to build my business. What do you need for that capital? They don't understand what to say, what they need with that capital. Do you know that if you ask for too low in rounds too early, that if you need additional seed capital, you can't go back to those investors? And investors are in groups. So if, let's say, you borrowed, let's say my name is Carol Sankar Bank, and you borrowed $10,000 from me, and it wasn't enough to fulfill your need to be able to build your business. Do you know I'm probably part of, there's something called the angel list, and I'm probably part of the angel list. And I tell everybody else that I loaned you $10,000 and you're building your business kind of little drip and drop. Do you know that the others won't invest in your second seed? And that's why we don't ask for enough. So instead, you should have come to me. I just told you about 10X, and you should have come to me and say, I need $100,000. I invest a portion of that $100,000. You get that portion of that $100,000, and then the rest of your $90,000 is open to the rest of the public who now knows you have a deficiency that you wanted to fill that we could do. Many women don't have any clue how to get that done. We're going to be talking about that throughout the year. And another thing that we're also going to be talking about, which is actually going to happen tomorrow, is we're going to be talking about the importance of women joining boards and joining other stuff and doing other things. Because again, we are a $1 trillion market, but less than half of our businesses are solvent. And I think it's a sad reality that we want to be invested in, but we don't know what to ask for. And so with us not knowing what to ask for, we have all of these big dreams and these big goals, but we don't know what to ask. We go and we stay away from certain things because we always feel this fear of rejection before we feel the actual joy of success. And because we don't know what to ask for, the sad reality is nobody's investing in us, and we're not asking for enough anyway. It's hard to say it in so many words, but if you're not asking, you won't get. If you don't get, you can't be disappointed with the fact that you don't have. If you don't have, it's unfortunate that it's not to say that it's their fault. It's really your fault for not showing up to bigger meetings and not having a better inner circle, to not be able to go to meetings and name drop. Like, you should be able to go to a room and say, I was just with Hillary just yesterday. Oh, really? That's how you get into major meetings, by name dropping. As women, we just don't have access to all of that. So I want to change the playing field. I'm really committed to changing the playing field because too many of us are gifted. We are like gifted soldiers. Yes, hello. We're gifted soldiers, and we don't ask for what we want. We ask, I just want to make it affordable. We just want to ask for a little bit. And then when we don't get it, we're disappointed. And that's why I always talk about pricing. When you charge little bits of money, yes, you guys on Meerkat, if you charge little drips of money and you're disappointed that people don't pay you because you didn't ask enough, I'm challenging everyone. By this time, if we are still on Meerkat by next year, because somebody is out there inventing the next platform, if we are still on Meerkat by next year, I want to see $1.5 million in sales for all women. And I hope that you guys are joining me in this fight. If you are, feel free to say. My Meerkat family is responding, and my people on text message are responding. If you have any questions that you want to ask, feel free to post them. And if you have any questions, if you're on the YouTube side or on my channel side, feel free. I'd rather you text them to me, just because it's easier for me to control. 765-544-0427. 765-544 if you have any questions. So, are y'all joining me in the $1.5 million fight? If y'all are not, that's fine. Stay where you are. Then this book is not for you. This book is going to hurt your feelings. It really will. And I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. That's not my goal. But if you're ready to take a challenge that you're going to up level this year, we're talking 1.5. If you really want it and you really are, look, I'm not selling you anything. So this is not a sales call. If you really want it, 1.5 is just the minimum goal. Nothing much. I think that that's fairly easy to do. I'm challenging you. Yes, I got it. Thank you. All right. I don't know if you guys have. Somebody had a question. Okay, wait. I'm getting text messages from someone who's saying, "How do you?" Hold on. I'll read it. How do you make $1.5 million when I still have a full-time job and barely make $50,000 a year? It's really simple. I don't know what it is you do. You have to put a little bit more information in that, but I can tell you one thing that you can do. The first thing you need to do is, if you really want to be a serious, committed entrepreneur, I don't deal with entrepreneurs at all. If you want to be a serious entrepreneur, you have to make your resignation letter starting today. Like, that's it. I don't even invest in concepts where the person has a part-time job or a full-time job and a part-time dream. Like, you can't have part-time visions and expect full-time results. Like, it's just not going to happen. I don't even take, inquiries at that amount. So that's the first part. So you have to leave the first $50,000 on the table, understanding that it's going to be scary to leave a full-time job. I get it. I've been down that road before. But this, you have to leave that to have enough time during the day to make things happen. Because I'm going to be honest with you. You want to meet with major financial groups. You really want to get into major meetings. Nobody's available after 5 o'clock. Like, nobody is. If you want to really sit down with capital investors as a woman, they're not available at 12 because they're at lunch with you. They're not available at 6. They don't do 8 a.m. meetings. They don't do pick your brain sessions. So that's just not going to happen. So how do you do it? Literally, commit to whatever it is you want to do. Commit to the process. The first thing you're going to do is commit to the process. The second thing you're going to do is determine what it is that you actually provide in the marketplace. I don't know if you provide a service or a concept or whatever. The second thing that I would advise you to do is become a registered woman minority business owner. Like, that's certified. You get that, a lot of doors will open for you because you'd find out about more capital that's available to you, because everybody likes to say, where are the grants? They're not available to you because you're just sitting on the corner. If you're available by, making sure you're a registered business owner, that's another way. Then you're going to go out and put your seed into the market. You pitch your executive summary to as many investors as you can every single day. If you do that for maybe about 30 days, I guarantee you get your first part of your investment. You go heavy and you stay back in the investment and then kind of reinvest it back into the business. Then that will start to metastasize, and in a very short amount of time, that job what job did I used to I don't remember having a job. That's how you really do it. You got to really commit to the process. But don't ever commit to the process until you've gotten somebody else's money. All right, somebody asked me a question. Somebody's saying, because of the choppiness of your stream, you don't seem to be using Wi-Fi. I am using Wi-Fi. I'm using 5G Wi-Fi, so I don't know what the problem is. It could just be Meerkat. I don't know. Meerkat, I'm telling you, Meerkat always has a problem when it comes to choppiness. I don't know. If you want to join me, I'm at Carol. I'm at the www.theconfidenceforowomen.com/lead. The Confidence Factor for women.com/lead. I can't put it up right now. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. What was I gonna tell you? I was gonna tell you something before I got that. Another question. Hold on. I'm trying to answer your questions at the same time. Hello, Meg. How are you? I'll see you tomorrow. It's flavored water. It's not soda. Someone says they're glad to be able to be on this call. I have a feeling that's Rose Fauntleroy. I'm not sure because I can't see the number, but I have a feeling it's Miss Rose. But mwah, if it's Miss Rose Fauntleroy, I love you to death. Because the number doesn't give me your name, but I have a feeling, it's just in my heart. I know my people. All right, so is it getting better? I'm sorry. I'm in my office and my literal towers are sitting right next to me, and like I said, it just happens to be it happens to always be Meerkat, and I can't stream because I have my phone for one other reason, so I can't Periscope. So I would do three, but I think I'm multitasking enough. But if you have any questions, I am 100% available. Again, any questions you may have, 765-544-0427. Trying to remember all these numbers. And if you can't get through, if this is choppy on Meerkat, go to www.theconfidenceFactorForWomen.com/live, LIVE. Okay. Some other questions that are coming through. Let me answer them. Okay. I hear you about leaving my job for $50,000. However, I still have a family and need, basic necessities with regard to insurance and things of that nature. Don't you think that would be too scary to actually make the first plunge? What about a transition? Let me explain something about a transition. I know a lot of people who got up for work, and I was one of those casualties. I got up for work one morning, and my job was no longer there. Plain and simple. So I had dedicated my life to this job. I was there before the job began. I was there after the job ended. I was there when I was there 7 days a week at this job. I actually went to school on the side when Lord, sometimes when you think back into your lifestyle, you're thinking, how did I do all that? And I woke up one morning and my job was no longer there. So I say that to say that if you're not willing to go head first in your dreams, you will always be halfway into the reality of someone else. And this is not to be. I'm not saying this in a manner to be an encourager in any way. I don't want to seem like I'm trying to encourage or inspire. I'm just speaking my truth. Is that many of us, we hang on to scarcity, we hang on to safety, we allow our children to be the reason we don't do so many things. I'm a mother just like you. I know what it's like to have one foot on motherhood, another foot on wifehood, another foot in the business, another foot in my dream. Like I have, it's almost like I'm an octopus. I've got a lot of tentacles and a lot of things. But the one thing I always had to do is just believe in me. And if I didn't believe in me, a lot of what I've been able to accomplish in this 10-year span wouldn't have been possible. I had to endorse me first. And the first part about being confident is really believing in myself first and loving me enough to say the things that I'm not able to do. And a lot of what I have not been able to do, look, I made a joke the other night, it's true. I'm a true Trinidadian, eh? Let me tell you something. I like to cook. As you can see, I like to cook. And I haven't been, my kitchen is so clean, it's embarrassing to tell people how much I like to cook, and there's no food in my house. I don't have the time. So I try to do the things that I can do, and I do them well. And the things I can't do, Chipotle will take care of it, Macaroni Grill will take care of it. There's a microwave some places, a dinner some place, Walmart will take care of it. So here's what I'm saying to you. You have to leave obscurity in order for you to be able to get abundance. And if you're not willing to do that, as a woman, you will always be holding on to the safety net. Men don't hold on to safety nets like we do. We hold on. We hold on. And hence, many of us have jobs that we started out as temporary and we've now made permanent. So I understand you have issues, but you have to make a decision. You're one committed decision away from where you really want to be. Okay, let me try to take all these rest of these questions. Ask the next question because I know you have more. If you're streaming from an iPhone, what happened? I don't know. I don't know what's wrong. I'm not streaming from my iPhone. I'm actually streaming from my tablet. So I have no idea what's the matter. And it's Android, and it could be Android. I don't know. Perhaps you. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. I have no idea. But if it's still choppy, like I said, come over into the other side. Come join us this side of the scope. Because I don't know. Paris. I'm not Paris. I keep saying Periscope because I'm a Periscope girl. Has been really good to us and really bad to us all at the same time. All right, last question that I see here. Hold on. There are a lot of questions. You guys are awesome. When will the book be available? I'm just gonna say LOL soon. It could be available. It could be available as soon as probably this weekend. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna tell you when. Oh no. Okay. To be honest with you, the delay in the book is because I had an exclusive deal with another company, and they had the first rights to the book, so they got their books taken care of, and so now it's ready to be distributed. But then what happened was I I didn't want it to be like every other book. I'm not into the whole graphic thing, and I wanted to see all this stuff. I just wanted to. Here's what I did with this. Let me show you guys here. Wait, hold on. I'm showing Meerkat for a second. This is a copy of the book. It's not out yet, so calm down. And what I really wanted to do is I wanted my eyes to look at you every time you got a fearful decision. And I think I did it. Boom. Slam the book down. I think I did it because I wanted my eyes to be able to peer at you because some of you know me and you know how sarcastic I could be. And so I wanted my eyes to be peering at you. For those of you who are on YouTube, I wanted my eyes to literally peer at you as you're going through this. And you're getting ready to make a fearful decision and you see my eyes. And you're getting ready to charge small and you see my eyes, and you're getting ready to discount and you see my eyes, and I'm gonna be, as soon as you get ready to discount, boom, here the eyes go, boom. Oh boy, that's why I did the book for. So I apologize for the delay in the book, but we're gonna do. I'm gonna announce it. If you subscribe to my newsletter, you'll get the first subscription and the first notification when the book will be out, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed. And let me tell you, the book is not just about what I just talked about. Um, the book is about 100 people, 100 women that I took over a specific amount of time, and I somewhat interviewed them, and they knew they were part of the test. So it's not like to say that they don't know. They knew they were part of it because they had many confidence issues. Many of them were high achieving women, had multiple degrees and had attained a certain level of success, and they were not able to take the next level. They were very fearful about taking the next level. So what ended up happening is I set out on a 2-year journey initially to be able to work with these women, to be able to determine what they needed to do to be able to become successful. So whether it was just marketing in their business, because this is just the business one, we have the one on leadership coming. Whether they just needed marketing, whether they just needed me to look over their profit and loss statements, whatever they needed to do, and I didn't know what to do to be able to encourage them to take this gift that's in here and put it out in the market. I didn't know what to do to be able to take them there. And the first part of the book talks about the 15 women we took in a real estate survey. They came into this watered down version of my wholesaling 101 class that I offer every year. I only offer it once a year, every September, one time. And they came into that, and I offered them a watered down version of what I normally do for my men. And that was 2012. We are talking in 2015, and none of those women have implemented. I think last year when we offered wholesaling 101 as a 10-day course, one woman, no, two, Jacqueline, I don't know if Jacqueline's here, Jacqueline Denise, and Kim Sutter. Those are the only two that have bought property since then. And Jacqueline started out with 2 residential properties, and then she flipped over and did commercial real estate, like right away. Like she just went boom, boom, and increased her net worth and did major things from it. Where the other women that were in the study didn't do anything. Many of them still, oh my gosh, Carol, what if they ask me? And a lot of us as women have a lot of choreographed success. And you know what choreographed success is, right? You want me to give you a script of exactly what to say to be able to meet people. So you want to go to that major meeting. You want to go into those major big settings. You want to go meet the next $1 million investor, billionaire. You want to go meet Mark Cuban for the first time, but now you're trembling and you don't know what to say. And so you say, Carol, tell me, what do I say? I don't know what to say. What if they ask me this and what if they ask me that? And I had gotten into a stage where I was highly disappointed in some ways to actually endorse the struggle that we need choreographed success for women to be successful. Like, you don't need a script for everything. Like, you don't need a script for your life. You don't need a script to go to the supermarket and ask for a pound of beef. So why do you need a script to be able to tell people, my name is blank and I came here because I want an opportunity to do blank? I came here because I want $5 million. I want you guys to invest in my business. I don't even talk in six-figure levels anymore. Isn't that sad? Because I had to give up the reality that if I'm going to endorse struggle, it has to be because I'm struggling with this. And I even talked the first. You ask a question, I go answer it for you. The first chapter of the book, it literally says, do women like to struggle? That's the first thing it says. The first thing it says in the book. Do women like to struggle? That's the opening line. And the reason why I said this in the first part is because a lot of us, we endorse struggle in so many different ways. We endorse our fears. We endorse all that we know is to be small. We endorse being around people who think small. We endorse fear big time. We endorse the fact that we think that we don't know something. We endorse the fact that we have kids, we're mothers. We endorse the fact that we go to a job where we're underpaid. In that particular chapter and right before it, I discussed the fact that when I first graduated from college, I had this very high-end international history degree. My goal was to become a law professor. That was my goal because that's what I went to law school for. And if law didn't work out, my goal was to become an international history professor. That was my goal. And the reason why international history has always been my thing is because of my particular history, where my family's from. And I spent a lot of time studying the Jagdayan family of India and Guyana and Trinidad. I studied that whole family for a very long time. So I just had a very natural knack for it. And so a huge part of our history makes up why the Caribbean is the way it is. So I wanted to teach international history. I wanted to teach Parliament. I had all these big dreams. And I worked in this law firm because I thought, okay, if I can work in a law firm kind of being submerged in the legal talk, I'd be okay. And in this law firm that I worked for, it was a very high-end law firm, a very high-end medical malpractice law firm. And we had concierges for everything. It was a very well-to-do place. And all of the partners in the firm, there was one particular partner, I don't want to say his name because his daughter is a huge prosecutor in New York City now. And he would ask me at night, like I would get off at 7 and I would take the train back to New York City. And I would get off at 7 and I get into New York around 8:15, and then I have to pick up my car. And he would ask me every day to get him water and bagels. Water and bagels every day. For those of you who know anything about the Long Island Railroad, you only got like 3 trains after 8 o'clock that are ever going to get you back to New York City. That's it. Like you're screwed after that, because that train stops running until 3 o'clock the next morning or something like that. And he would do this every night and take advantage of me. And the thing is, I used to literally sit there and say, well, I'm single, I don't have any kids, I'm not married, like I have a boyfriend. And every day I would justify this working for nothing. I would justify it. I'd be like, oh, yeah, he's asking me because he likes me. I do this every day, and so every day it'll be water and bagels and water and bagels. And the thing, it wasn't like to say it was on site. I'd have to go to get them at 7 o'clock. The train leaves at 7:15. I'd have to go get the water and the bagels, bring them back, set up a whole table, and then walk to the train, which is going to take me another 15 minutes to walk over there. If I miss the 7:15 train, the next one comes at around 8:30. If I miss the 8:30, the last one comes at 9, and I'm screwed. I can't get back home. There were many nights my mother had to come to my job and come and get me. And my mother would be so annoyed because I'm being paid pennies on the dollar. I'm not getting paid for this. And it's all because I was willing to take small results. And in my check never reflected the fact that I was there for an additional 2 hours. They never offered to drive me home at 9 o'clock at night. Never one time did Mr. Blank ask me, I know you live in New York City. Can I at least drive you to maybe Queens to get the next train? Never. He'd be like, have a good night, and leave me gone. And every day this would take place. And what I'm saying to you is a lot of us as women, we let this happen to us repeatedly. And I let that happen for such a long time that I became the water and bagel girl. That's what he used to call me. Hey, the water and bagels were great. Never once did he even think what he was doing to me, because I had to be back here the next morning. I'm getting home at 11 o'clock because now I got to call my mother and say, Mom, I missed the last train. She has to drive 45 minutes up there to get me 45 minutes back. I got homework to do. Then I got to get ready for school. Then I get to school. All of this to be paid pennies, and then to have my mother inconvenienced, to be driving at night, some nights in the snow. We do this a lot, and we endure struggle. That's why I said the first chapter is, do we like struggle? Do we endure struggle? Do we like the fact that we're not being paid what we're worth? Do we like the fact that we're operating businesses that are heart centered and we're not getting paid half of what our male counterparts are getting paid? We're not even getting paid 1/3 of it because we don't ask. We have this fear that if we ask, we won't receive. And therefore, that's why I said to you, if you really want to go to real investors, they don't invest when you only ask for this much. Or when anybody comes to me and says, Carol, I just need $10,000. No, you don't. You really need 100, but you're just asking me for the first 10. And if I invest in the first 10, you're going to come back to me and ask for another 10, and I'm not going to do it because you're not asking for enough. I got to get women out of the scarcity mindset. We have to stop asking for enough. We have to stop asking for enough. Enough is not going to take us to where we need to go. It's not going to really do the job that we needed to do in order for us to be able to get to that next level and relate a better and bigger message. And I promise you, if you don't add confidence to your business, if you don't add confidence to your life, if you don't add confidence to what you're asking for, if you don't add confidence to your everyday being, if you don't add confidence to yourself, if you don't add confidence to anything you do, you will always have to settle for my $9 problem. My $9 problem was when I was getting that particular attorney water and bagels and suffering to get home at 11 o'clock at night, not getting paid. And one thing I will say that I have to admit, that I do have one upper hand that many women don't. My mother was a corporate executive for about 10 years before she retired. My mother was the senior auditor for a major lending institution for a long time. And my mother was all over the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Barron's, this, that, the other. But I didn't learn from her. Not one bit. My mother was not, in the initial stages, my mother was not my mentor. My mother, I never lived with her, so I didn't know. All I knew is I could go to her for money. That's what it was. Mom, I need like those new Reeboks. I can go to her and grease my palm. But I never knew what she did. She didn't teach me confidence. But once I started to add confidence to my life, once I started to up level and be unapologetic about who I wanted to align with, who I wanted to work with, the kind of clients I really wanted to work with, the kind of real estate I wanted to buy, the kind of circles I keep, the reason I keep so hushed on social media at times, the reason I am so bold on social media at times, the reason why some of you always say your Instagram does not look like your Facebook, it doesn't look like it. There's a reason, because I know where my audience is and I get loud with my audience where they are. Facebook doesn't do it for me. Facebook is where a lot of people hang out that have nothing to do, because remember, Facebook is your friend that knows a friend that knows a friend. So if your first friend is broke, you are the sum total of the 5 people you're aligning yourself with. So if your first friend is your broke cousin Mel, and you got 5,000 broke friends because you started with the first broke person that you're friends with, as opposed to the other social media platforms that don't have that kind of obscurity. So I don't really market on Facebook the way I used to, because most of my money can't come from me just saying you like it, you like it, you like it, you like. I advertise in another different way, and a lot of that comes because you have to ask for more, so you have more money to invest in your business. All right, I don't know if I have any other questions. Um, wait, I have 4 more. I'm gonna try to get through these 4. For many of you, somebody's asking about my hand. I broke my fingers. This Saturday will make it 3 weeks ago. My middle finger just won't go down, so I can't I can't swing it the way I'd like to. Because she was asking, did I play football? No, I didn't play football. My fingers are literally, my middle finger is, she's not acting right. But we'll, trust me, we'll fix her pretty soon. All right, next question. Where do you think you can learn confidence from? I want you to, if you can text me back again, 765-544-0427. If you can text me back again and let me know, give me one other sentence with that. What do you mean? Where do you learn it from? Like, give me an idea of what you do so that I can kind of guide you through that. Next question is, do you think that it's fair that investors don't invest in women? And I'm on Meerkat. Hi, Carol. Hi. No, I don't think it's fair that investors don't invest in women, but I don't think it's fair that women don't know where to go to meet investors. So it's almost like the whole conversation can never take place properly. Many women don't know how to connect with investors. And a lot of times, okay, so like I'll even share with you this. April this year, the Southeast Venture Capital Summit came to Charlotte. That was the first time it ever been in my backyard. I've been going to this forever. It's always in Tampa or Miami or wherever. It's the first time it came to my backyard, and I went to their first meeting. I mean, the first meeting here in Charlotte. I bought a table. To have 10 people join me. If any of you know me on Facebook, go back through my Facebook feed on April the 1st of this year. I bought the table. The woman who I bought the table from commented on Facebook, Carol Sankar is the first woman to buy a table at the SEVC. I invited 9 women to join me. I haven't found them yet. Boo. So it's not like to say I didn't invite. More than 40% of my audience on Facebook are women. None of them came. All of them said, I don't think my product is ready yet. I'm still dotting my I's and crossing my T's. I'm still thinking about what I want to do. But the chance to actually sit in a room with 500 of the world's biggest investors never showed up. So I took 9 men with me instead. That's what I did. So do I think it's fair that women don't get investment from investors? Yeah. Do I think it's fair that women don't go? That's a whole other issue. I think it's unfair that women don't claim their right to be able to go into rooms regardless of whether their T's are dotted or their I's are dotted or whatever they want to dot. I feel like the thing is, it's great. It's hard to say that they don't invest in us without saying we don't invest in us first. Nobody's going to invest in you until you invest in you first. The first investment that you're ever going to make starts with when you invest in you. And that's why I said in the beginning, I said it at least 4 or 5 times since we've been on air, that the reason why you cannot get more money, the reason why you can't make more, the reason why you're not getting ahead is because you don't ask for enough to be able to have the cash flow to be able to invest in you. So when you stop asking for minimum wage in your business and start asking for premium wage in your business, you would have excess cash flow to sit with me in 2016 for this 3-day event at the next SEVC that I already got my next table for. But I put it like this: I'm not inviting any more women. Because she asked, because what? I'm not. If you want to come, take initiative and find a way to ask me. I'm not. When I put it out there in the open before, too many women started with this whole, I don't think my concept is ready yet. I'm not dealing with that. If you really think your concept is ready, submit the concept to me and I'll take it to the SEVC for you, or you can join me at my table. But I got a table for 9 already for 2016. Again, won't invest in yourselves at that level. And then here's another thing that's also the problem. Many women can't afford to go into the SEVC because the minute you see the ticket price and you debate between going to a $10 conference that's going to teach you absolutely nothing about growing your business, or SEVC where you're going to sit with billionaire investors, you're always, as women, going to choose to sit with people who can't take you anywhere. So when I don't go to those events, I go to the SEVC, I come out with, forget about business cards, I come out with a Rolodex that fills up my phone and my tablet, and then you have to think about what's more important. You go into a conference to be able to be happy or for you to get paid. I'd rather be happy and paid. So if I could find an empowerment summit before the SCBC, if I could do both, I'd be happy. But I'm not the kind of person who's going to give up the opportunity to expand my net worth to go to sit anywhere where nobody's teaching me anything. That's why I'm very cautious about and guarded where I go network. So yes, I think there's a little bit of both in that particular answer. Next question. How do we find out about these kind of events? They're all over the internet. It's not like to say I have to make them up for you. Many of them are online. You don't have to even. Um, many of them are online. Okay. I know that's Miss Rose. I know that's Miss Rose is like, preach. All right. Yeah, many of them are online. And even if they are not online, just stay connected with people who have real things to do, not people who are talkingpreneurs, real entrepreneurs. Stay connected with them, and honestly, you will be able to get into those types of rooms. I have been a member of the SEVC because the first time I wanted to get angel investors in my business to be able to grow my coaching business, um, I went to them for rounds and they started talking to me about different things. And then there's a woman who brings it to, it's a woman, one woman who brings it to Charlotte. So she's the one who paid to take it away from Tampa and bring it here. And that same woman is the woman I networked with in order for me to get there. So there are ways. You just have to network outside of the circle. And in your question, I see empowerment in business. Okay, so I have a major, yeah, I saw the question. Okay, so I talked about at TEDx about the fact that women have need motivation and they need to be able to get supported. So you need motivation in one hand, but you need high level mentorship and support. The issue is women always go to motivation and they think that that's business, and that's not business. So, like I just said, I don't mind having a mix. I like being motivated. I do it every morning. I'm very guarded about what I hear. Hence, I don't watch television that often. Um, I, 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 if you knew my ritual, I just don't watch a lot of TV. Every time I watch television, somebody's dead, something bad is happening. They're talking about the economy. Don't spend money and this and the other. So they're feeding me scarcity and they're feeding me being scared on television. Even like my mother-in-law called me yesterday. She goes, Carol, don't buy no chicken, you know. They recalled chicken yesterday and it's a bad thing. And let me tell you, if you buy chicken, you go dead. Selling me scarcity. I bought chicken. I needed the chicken. What am I going to eat? I got to eat. So, bought chicken. She told me don't eat no chicken. Anyway, so I don't watch news. So, when I do motivation in a guarded way where I allow myself a certain amount of minutes to listen to motivation. Then I need to go into implementation mode. So what am I going to do to take this fuel that I just put in my car, my automobile, myself, and go ahead and do the next thing? So like the other day, I meerkatted the fact, some of you guys were on Meerkat with me the other day, as I drove with my tablet in my hand like this, driving, and I showed you me going out here and prospecting for properties. And there was a particular property I went to go see. And I showed you with the tablet in my hand what property I was looking at, what I was looking for. Because the thing is, after I'm finished being motivated, I'm not going to sit online and show you anything because you're not going to buy that stuff. I need to go out here and make money for myself. So I went to go, this week I went to go see 4 different properties. Tonight I got to see 2 more. Then I got a blog at around 9 o'clock. I try to make sure that if I'm going to be in environments where I'm actually doing the thing, here's how you find events of that magnitude. Once you start getting really active, people all of a sudden start paying attention to you and start calling you. So I don't no longer need invitations to go anywhere. People start contacting me and saying, "Hey, I realize that you just closed 4 properties this week. I want to talk to you about there's a such and such meeting happening on Friday, or there's a this happening on Wednesday." Like that's the way you get in. But if you're always at the hand clapping, I'm going to cry this weekend's women retreat, you're not going to find them because many of you stick around speakers. You don't stick around people who are actually doing the work. And that's the main difference why I've kind of slided myself away from that environment because I don't want to be spoken to. I want to learn something. And if I'm not being challenged every day to learn something new, it's not worth doing. And that's why I said, giving Grant all his props. Grant, I hope you're listening. You got to 10x this thing. Like every day, I'm 100xing. I get up, I get my little fuel, my little fire, aka Maxwell House or McDonald's coffee, whichever one comes first. Usually McDonald's comes first. and I get my coffee and I get busy. Hence, that's probably why my car is, she's ready to leave my house because my car is always like, gosh, I stay on. Right now, I can't drive due to medical reasons, but as soon as I get my driving foot back, I promise you I'm out of this place. All right, next question. Next question, and this is probably the last one I can take because I want to make sure I get you guys out of here. How do you keep good people around you? By knowing who's bad for you. You have to take procrastinators out of your life. You have to take people who talk a good game but don't do squat out of your life. You have to take people who only will be there when you're crying and when you're down and out. You got to take them and remove them out of your life. And then you got to categorize people by what they do for you. So I have categories. I have a category of people who make me laugh. That's important for me. I love laughter. Hence, that's probably why I laugh all the damn time. I have people who make me smile. I have my clique. So I'm a big hair fanatic. So I have my hair clique. So they're in the hair category. And then of course I have my family. And then I have other people who we could talk about mommy things and stuff like that. And then they're in my category of self, life, and love. So what I do is I keep them in the self, life, and love category. We can't talk about any business in the self, life, and love category. And the reason is because when you realize self, life, and love come up, we can stay with what we have to do in our common factors, but we can't go any further. We're done, right? And then I go into the people who are really making me reach for higher goals. So I'm a big believer of connections. I hate to do things just on social media. I love to call people. So I have people who I personally call. My mentor is one of them. In the morning time, he always sends me a message and says, "Get up, get up, get up, money to be made." And usually he'll say, what properties we looking at today, or what's on the agenda. And then I have my clients, and I do different things in order for me to be able to keep those people around me. And let me also make something very clear. I also keep the kind of clients in my Rolodex that also keep me in line as a coach. And the reason is because I can't be a better leader unless I have great people to lead. I don't just take on people who can pay me. Anybody can pay me. I don't want to be around people who can pay me. I want to be around people who are ready to, like, can we have that kind of conversation? Hence, that's the reason why we did the confidence factor. I want to be around women who want to have that kind of conversation. I don't want to be in the pity party conversation. I don't go to pity parties. There's no music I want to dance to there. There's nothing we can accomplish. So I keep people in categories. But to find good people, you've got to be doing excellent things. Because once people see you doing excellence, and not talking about excellence, I'm talking about doing excellent things, you will attract the kind of people you've always been looking for. It wasn't until I decided to get out of obscurity and get out of my own way and stop allowing people with a small mindset to preach to me that I was able to attract the kind of people that excited me, that made me want life, that made me want to go for that my $6 million goal. This is the year. Next year is building year. It wasn't until I got away from those small thinking people. I just want to start a business. What kind of business? I just want to earn six figures. That only starts at 100,000. So that's all you really want. Like, until I got around people who said, "Carol, let's make this million together. So let's close this computer and let's forget about a plan. What do you do that's special that you bring to the world that we're going to put out in the world to get $1 million going today?" And it's very simple. So that's when I started meeting good people. So you meet good people when you're doing good things and when you're doing exceptional things. I'm tired of hanging around good people. Good, people who are, yeah, you're like Mother Teresa, you're doing good stuff. You want to meet exceptional people who can take you to extraordinary places, you've got to be in doing those things, and you will start seeing how your inbox will flow a lot differently. Am I right? So I hope this has been a great little stream for you. I've tried to take every question I can, and there's a lot more, and I see some of y'all are preaching, preaching, preaching. And I love you all for life. So get ready for the confidence factor because, like I said, I'm on a mission. 1.5 million. All I want is some women to join in the fun. If you're ready to commit to your vision and stop thinking so small, stop thinking about discounting your dream just to get people in the door. If you're ready to stop playing on the level of, You got to do something free for now to get people in the door. If you're ready to stop doing that, if you're ready to stop undercharging yourself, if you're ready to stop going to ordinary circles of people who cannot feed you a very great diet filled with great food that is going to fulfill your every desire to elevate in every element of your life and go for excellence. If you're ready to kind of get out of this obscure way of thinking and go for something bigger that's bigger and better than yourself, if you're ready to leave legacies for your children and your grandchildren, I want a legacy that's going to outlive even my son. I want people to say, "Man, your mom." Like, I want people to talk about me in, 3,000, 30, 40. I want people to be able to talk about me because I believe that what I leave in this universe has to make that kind of imprint that outlives me. If you're ready to go to those levels, I want to start dealing with women who are on a committed journey to excellence in their business, in their life, in their level of mastery, who are ready to take this thing by the horns and really do excellent things. If you're ready for that, I'm ready to work with you. But if you're still kind of, you're a little scared, I'll find your life coach that's going to straighten out those issues. But I really want to work with women who are committed to excellence. You ready to get rid of that job that's holding you down between 9 and 5? Meanwhile, people who with money can only meet between 9 and 5, so you don't have to take off some vacation time to get your dreams fulfilled. If you're tired of going to Saturday events, because real people that have real money only do events Monday through Friday. If you really want to do the kind of work that is going to make a huge impact in the world, we're ready. It's here. Like, I got the print. See the print? I got it here. It's here. And all you have to do is get ready to join the mission. That's all I'm asking. Commitment changes everything. I'm telling you, commitment changes everything. All right. If you guys have no other further questions, or rather, I don't have any more questions, I can answer. I'm tired. I'll be on Meerkat again later on tonight. Just allow me to get out in the street for a little bit. I'll be on Meerkat again tonight at about, I think, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard. Either way, just check my newsletter. If you're on my newsletter, you'll get an invitation to join me on Meerkat. I'll be on Meerkat at 8 o'clock. And we'll be talking again about the confidence factor. And I'll be talking about like 5 things you need to do to be able to get a fast action plan for your first million if you're really serious. I'm only talking $1 million conversations. So if you're a 6-figure thinker, this is not for you. So I'll see you guys soon. I love y'all. I love y'all, Meerkat. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.